It's worth mentioning that it's been 24 plus hours since the initial incident that led to this entire campaign. And you guys are in organized crime now, so it's possible that as these doors you've opened these doors, you've closed others. Just saying.
Yeah.
They don't know we were involved. Probably. How are they gonna know?
I mean, they always thought Hot Pants.
As of right now, we know where a secret warehouse is, and we have tickets to a possibly illegal underground fight ring that we can turn over for evidence.
Oh no, there was no question about it. It was deeply illegal. It's extremely illegal.
So, who remembers what happened last time when I
say what notes
nearly
I have?
TPK'd you? Yes.
No, I remember that. So here's the notes I have. I have that we started. So we were at the load-bearing tome, right? We started there, and the black dragon named Skint, who's the leader of the cell.
Actually, it was the load-bearing tome was the bookstore where you sold your dragon porn.
Oh, excuse me. No, we're in the
Welch Tavern. Yeah.
Welch Tavern. That's right. I just had low-bearing tome above this line, but that was from the end of the tagger thing. Okay. Then I have something that says secret society stuff. They're the Order of the Centipedes. Parentheses in my vagina. So we found out that the group of people that we have stumbled upon from Hot Pants' secret sources is the Order of the Centipedes in my vagina. They're an organized crime syndicate. It's gonna be in my vagina.
In my vagina part of it is not canon.
Yes, it is.
It's not canon.
Yes, it is.
It's the Order of the Centipedes.
We will fight. Roll. Let's battle. Duel. For whether or not centipedes are in my vagina. Anyways, Hot Pants does a big intimidate with acid breath. He's like, ah. And then there's a big ogre named Grunion. And he's like, get in my sack, my big sack, because they don't want us to see where we're going, so that we could go like do things to get into the Order of the Centipedes. So all of us get in the sack, really quite willingly, like strangely willingly. Not a lot of fight there.
Like you guys just like were sitting there T-posing while he was placing you gently in the sack.
We
just
really didn't fight. Nobody fought it.
You? I was expecting at least some offhand comments, but no, everybody was like, yes, this is right and normal.
Well, I think I made some comments as Hot Pants, but then everybody was like, I mean, we gotta do this, right? And I was like, fine, fuck it, let's go. Put me in your sack.
Jack at least is diplomatic. He's like, he can roll with the punches.
Yeah. I have in parentheses, it's dark in the sack. I don't, okay. We get to this place, they open the sack, and for some reason, Dysana is gone, and we don't know why, but...
Yep, so you can work on that.
Yeah,
because I also don't know why.
The ogre starts to notice that Dysana is gone, and for some reason, Hot Pants covers for her. Poor Grunion. Then there's a tiefling woman in the storeroom. She's like, you need to clean the storeroom, so we start cleaning the storeroom, and then Grunion drops a big box, and then the box breaks kind of on the corner, and there's some weird shit in there, and we don't know what it is. Grunion gets fucking murked by these turtles. Grunion gets absolutely fucking destroyed. It's Adam eats our assholes out with a spoon. That was when you almost killed us.
Yeah, like in the first fucking round.
Yeah, 2 of us were down. And then Hot Pants refuses the advances of the Dragon Virgins.
Which is to say that he passed some death saves.
Yes.
is what she means by that.
Hey! I am telling a story right now.
Yes, you're weaving a word picture, and I will stop interrupting.
Hot Pants gets high on PCP at that point. He refuses the virgins, and then he gets high on PCP and sees a sleeping dragon in his dreams. Resh gets into a box and just hides in the box with just his little head sticking out.
And just his tongue sticking out just a little bit.
Yes. And but we survive, and Grunion's dead, and so then I get brought back. But I've been in the other world where I'm high. I've been this dragon, trying to get it to come to me, and then right as I get sucked out, I yell at it in dragon, and we never actually get to meet. I did get to cuddle with it a little bit.
Yeah, it was non-responsive.
It was non-responsive. So there was a giant dragon in the ether realm that I'm trying to become friends with. We find out that the turtles are actually there because they use them as for turtle cockfights, where they use them to fight each other for money for groups of people. That's why they have the turtles weren't an accident. They keep them there on purpose. Jacques negotiates tickets to the turtle cockfight show for us. So at some point we get to go watch these turtles kill each other and fight each other because we now have tickets to the show. I search the room, or I search the ogre. He doesn't have anything except for his giant sack, so I take the sack. So I have a sack, and that was the end of the session, was literally me taking the sack.
Also worth mentioning, while Hot Pants was high, Resh slapped the hell out of him to wake him
Oh,
up.
that's right! Because to wake me up, Resh came over, and before you could even get the full word of, hey, Jack was like, hey, you should, he came over and just fucking slapped the shit out of Hot Pants. So that happened.
It's like, I'm gonna go slap Hot Pants, right, to break him out of that reverie.
That too.
Right. Yeah. What?
I'm going to check in really quick with Dysana. So we're going to establish exactly what happened. While Grunion was stomping through the city, the market city of the Horde, I am willing to throw a certain bone here. Yeah, this was just a metric to get Dysana out of the mix. So I didn't accidentally kill your character while you weren't there, which is something I generally won't do. I'll kill you just fine if you're right in front of me.
I mean, we almost all
don't want to
died,
do it
and
while
then she
people
would have
are
been the only one left, and it would have just been you and Banshee.
Yep, it would have been one-on-one. It would have been one-on-one, possibly with Jack.
Possibly with Jack.
You know what? I accept that. We knew that Hot Pants was a liability from the moment we started this game.
As she is tromping through the city in the sack on the back of Grunion the Ogre, Dysana, with her elevated senses, smells the tantalizing scent of magical garbage. Magical garbage.
Magical garbage.
How would Dysana go about getting out of this moldy ogre sack?
Dysana would... Is it a special sack? Is it a bag of holding?
It's not a bag of holding as far as you can tell. It seems to be about as open, as large on the inside as you would expect it to be from looking at it from the outside.
Just try to cut it open, go out.
All right, you make a slit in the sack.
And I look at Resh.
So Resh knew the whole time.
I'm also half asleep.
That's fine. I'm the other half of the asleep. Together,
Right, okay.
the two of us, we are one asleep person and one awake person.
Making more sack jokes. Is there more low-hanging fruit for this low-hanging sack? That's all I need to know.
I keep thinking we're out of low-hanging fruit, and you keep finding it in the most
know.
inauspicious of places.
I mean, we're splitting sacks at this point.
We're just all right, you make a slit and you tumble outside of the sack and land on the cobbled streets of the Horde, and as you peer back behind you, the slit in the sack, in Grunion's sack, as he's trundling away through the streets, looking up at street signs and clearly trying to remember where it is he's supposed to be going, you can see the slit immediately knitting itself back up.
Whoa.
So the sack is clearly magical in one way or another, it's just not a bag of holding. You find yourself in the middle of a wide avenue. Nobody seems to have noticed the strangeness that has just gone on. There are people moving to and fro with barrows full of goods. There's a number of storefronts to the right and to the left, and sort of ahead of you there is a wide spiraling tower. That smell of magical trash does seem to be coming from roughly around the area of that tower. But you are free to move about the nation there.
I am...
You can run for it.
Following my nose.
You are following your nose.
Yep, I'm gonna head towards the delicious smell of ash.
Treasure trash. Okay. Around the back of this tower, stone tower in the middle of everything, you track around to the back, you find a midden, sort of a heap of garbage in the back. There's a lot of food residue. There's a lot of what seem to be spent potion cases, spent potion bottles, as well as a number of what seems to be broken items, broken possibly magical items. This seems to be where your smell is coming from, as well as residue from potion bottles.
So
Okay.
I am going to. Here's my list of animals.
Yeah,
to
animal
summon.
companions, yeah. Animals that you can summon. It takes 10 minutes to summon these animals.
Right.
Right. And since you already have your raven out,
Yeah. I'm gonna.
what you would be doing would be basically changing the form of your raven.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that and change it into a little grabby hands raccoon.
Yes,
And I'm gonna
okay.
say, little one, do your job.
It just chitters at you.
Yeah, and then it walks on its 2 feet, like with its hands, like, and it dives into the trash.
It dives into the trash. Okay.
That's fucking adorable.
Yep. You have set your raccoon about his sacred duties. All right. He's got keen smell, and he will go ahead and make a perception check to try and find you something good.
Heck yeah.
That's a 17 on the first roll and a 14 on the second roll. So with the 17, you're sort of like sharing your mind with the raccoon
Yes.
as it's going about its business.
I can see through its eyes.
Does he have a name? Please give him a name.
This is important.
Steve. Okay.
So Steve is digging through the garbage. You can smell what he smells. You can see what he sees, and you see him come across a stick.
A stick.
A stick.
My dogs
But
would
it
be
is-
very happy.
It is bleeding magical energy, and you realize as Steve sort of sniffs at it and digs it out from the surrounding detritus that it's a broken wand.
Okay. Say,
Where's an artificer when you need him?
Steve comes chittering back to me like,
He says,
exactly.
Yep.
With his little grabby. And I send him back in to try to find the other half.
"Oh, it's broken. It is in 2 pieces, but it is right there with you. It is held together by a thin sliver of wood. A thin
Okay.
sliver of wood is what I would say
Okay,
if I spoke
perfect.
fucking English."
That
Right.
sliver could slither.
Mhm.
If that sliver could slither.
Okay. Does it have like
Can you
any
repair?
symbols or any
What you can do for that is you can roll Arcana.
team?
16. Okay. This is a very plain wand, so you have reason to think that whatever the spell is, it's very sort of low level. More powerful wands take longer to create, and there's a tendency for there to be more finery involved. It's a greater act of artifice.
They're fancier looking. Is what...
They're fancier looking, yeah. However, with the 16, you also kind of look up at the tower that's right next to you, and you realize that it has all the hallmarks of being a wizard's tower.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
So at least you've located where there's a wizard who could potentially help you with this.
right. So I am
Or it's
going
his.
to say jump into. Oh, I guess I should name my animated sack. Oh,
So many
just,
sacks, so little time.
like, right?
When you have a sentient sack, you definitely need to name it.
I guess the familiar doesn't need to breathe, right? In a regular bag of holding, isn't there like no oxygen or something?
It's something
It is-
that a lot of DMs fight over. This is a
Like-
Because they
fighting
don't
DM
want people
thing.
sneaking.
Can Steve chill in there and not?
You can, as part of your creating familiars, you can send him away to like a pocket dimension at any time.
Oh shit!
And then he comes back with no other.
Yeah, it's like I think it's a bonus action. While your familiar is within 100 feet of you, you can communicate with it telepathically. Blah, 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 blah. As an action, you can temporarily dismiss your familiar. It disappears into a pocket dimension where it awaits your summons. You can dismiss it forever, if you please. As an action, while it is temporarily dismissed, you can cause it to reappear in any unoccupied space within 30 feet of you. That's
Beautiful.
an action, not a bonus action. I was wrong.
I mean, it still would be cool if, like, just for flavor, you let her put the raccoon in the sack so that he could jump out of the sack.
Listen, it doesn't say which pocket dimension. So,
Sure.
yeah, that's a pocket dimension.
Sure. So, Charlie, the animated dragon sack.
Charlie the animated dragon sack.
Charlie, the
That's
sack.
a
We
that's
have Charlie and
a word you
Steve.
just said.
We have Charlie and Steve. Okay.
These sound
Steve
like
and Charlie.
incredibly like weird and crazy fantasy names in this
I
fantasy
know.
universe.
Great.
Yeah,
Great. I love
very foreign and strange. Not even any apostrophes or hyphens in there. It's so weird.
Yeah.
What is your next course of action? It's been about, I would say, 15 minutes since you tumbled from Grunyon's sack.
Okay. I'm just gonna start heavy. I don't know. I don't want to start a whole thing, like going to the wizard tower and everything without the whole squad. So I'm gonna start heading towards where the. Do I know where they are? Wait, here.
Well, you know where the ogre went. He was heading down sort of like a main laneway.
Mm-hmm.
You're not exactly certain where you are right now, although the wizard's tower is something that can be seen from a distance, so you could probably find your way back, no problem. You start following down where the ogre went, and you realize you're sort of leaving the shops and storefronts of the Hordes district there, and you're getting into a sort of like a fancy residential district.
Okay. I look
Just
fancy.
when you think you're very fancy, big
There's
mansions.
gonna be some fancy garbage there.
You can smell expired caviar all over the
Oh my
place.
God.
Gross. What?
Oh my god, so delicious. Steve is like, his mouth is
Oh,
watering.
Steve!
so
Yeah.
Steve would definitely get down on some.
Steve would get down on that. Actually, Steve is in the animated dragon sack, so
Right.
he might not. But you're like, oh man, Steve would love this. Just when you think you're getting completely lost, you start hearing explosions
Okay.
and a small amount of screaming. And you're like, those are my people.
That sounds about right. Okay, so I'm gonna slip into stealth mode.
Okay, you slip into stealth mode. All right. 16. Okay. With a 16, that is going to beat most passives, honestly. So you're pretty much good. You find yourself sneaking up to this house that you can definitely, once you get close, it's very clear that that's where this is coming from. You hear smashing and the breaking of wood, and you're pretty sure you can smell smoke,
Okay.
that sort of
Do I
thing.
smell burning fur though?
Burning fur.
Like cat fur?
No. The sounds seem to be coming from the basement of this domicile.
So I'm gonna just kind of like walk around the house, see going on, see if there are windows.
The windows that you can see are all kind of blacked out and curtained. There is a big set of double doors that seems to sort of like lead out directly into the laneway by all the other big houses.
Okay. I'm going to see if it's unlocked.
It is locked from the inside, as far as you can tell. There seems to there's a little bit of give, like you can open it a little bit. It's like there's a chain and padlock on the inside that stops it from opening too far. Guys, as you guys are picking up and loading the last of the
I
cart,
love how Dysana got out of all of the physical work.
and the best part is because it's milestone level ups, she still got all the experience.
Did we level up?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Alright.
Not yet. I need to put you through the ringer a little bit more. As you
Yeah.
guys are doing this, there is a sudden clattering at the door that is in front of the cart that you guys have been loading, as though someone is trying to open it.
Don't let it in. We know it's probably another one of those fucking turtles.
Man outside.
All right, whatever.
All right.
Hot Pants will go over.
No,
it.
I
He
am
doesn't give a
going
shit.
to. I will. The find familiar
Mm-hmm.
or the same as the wild claw.
Nope.
So
The
my
find familiar
little guy.
is a spell.
Cool. So I haven't used a wild shape.
Nope.
That's great. I'm gonna wild shape into a little rat.
And you do that. It is worthwhile that you probably just heard Hot Pants, if that was actually something that Hot Pants said.
Oh, probably, yeah. Let's just assume.
You should,
Yeah.
probably another one of those turtles.
If I was a more playful character, I would turn into and maybe scare them. But
Once you hear
terrific.
Hot, because she doesn't know about the turtles, but she hears Hot Pants complaining about turtles. She's like, "Oh, you want a fucking turtle?"
so I am going to change into a rat.
Okay.
And I am going to, like you said, the door could flip.
Yeah, I would say that rats can squeeze all sorts of places. Yeah, you were able to squeeze through, no problem.
So we just see a rat coming through the door real quick, all of a sudden?
Yeah, the door, like, low-key opens, like somebody, like, pulled on it, like an adult human.
But then a tiny
humanoid.
rat comes scuttling through.
And then a tiny rat comes through.
Yeah, Hot Pants, like, jumps up on the little, he tries to get up. He tries to jump up. It's not very dexterous.
He's
What
like,
the fuck? Yeah. Yes, he's very scared of all rodents. Like, this is his one fear, is just rodents.
I'm writing that down.
No fear. Writing that down for use later.
I've said it now, so it's fucking canon.
It's hit the table. It's canon. You guys pause in your loading of that. You guys are just about finished with loading this cart.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Do you guys take any notice at all? The other
of
people
Hot
in the
Pants
room.
jumping and screaming, yes. But I mean, Fresh isn't really scared of or worried about a small rat. Plus,
Plus, I'm pretty sure Resh would know that that's Dysana.
Is the rat special looking? Is the rat
Well,
rat
I was
like
gonna
goth?
say that if I ever, it is black, but I was just gonna say like it has the same color eyes
As you.
Okay.
as Dyson.
Oh,
very
that's-
particular detail.
Yeah.
You gaze lovingly into the eyes of this rat, and you can
Yeah.
feel your soul being filled with coldness.
And then the rat goes like,
Yeah, they just
Like
like
winks.
connect. Yeah.
The rat. I'm
The
telling
rat
you,
winks at the tabaxi. Why did that rat just wink at you, tabaxi? what are you doing
why are
with
you
these
so
rats?
scared of rats?
I-
I mean, it's just
my father was a rat and he abused me.
Fresh just kind of reaches into his backpack and breaks off like a little piece of his rations and drops it, puts it down on the floor.
shit.
Can't spell rations without rat.
Yeah, Hot Pants is just glaring down Resh. I thought we were starting to bond. And now you
The
go.
lady tiefling
Feed the rat.
sort of strides up with her clipboard and says, "Why have you stopped? Are you feeding the vermin?"
Well, just this one.
He is. Yeah.
But did
you-
did you hear that one scream though?
I'll admit that was pretty entertaining.
I'm vermin. That thing's the vermin. I am not the vermin. That is the vermin.
I'm gonna run and I'm gonna like hide a little bit. If there's like any you did say there was like rooms that you couldn't go into.
Yes.
That room
they're,
it's in the top of the map. She wouldn't let us
shit!
in
I
there.
didn't even see. All right, cool.
The top map. Michael was trying to get in there during the whole fight, but then he had to give it up to save us, and nobody ever.
Yeah, the
got in
tiefling
there.
did not want to
The
let
tiefling
him
woman
in
was
there.
Stopping Michael.
Basically the room that you find yourself in
She was rather insistent about it.
is there's like crates and barrels and sacks all over the place in here. So if you want, there's ample room to investigate in there, or you could go
While
up to.
these guys are looking or filling the cart or whatever,
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna look around because I don't know about this secret room that nobody like you're not supposed to or
That's true. Yeah, you don't know
whatever.
Mm. There's a lot of blood around, and a still gently smoldering dead body of Grunion the ogre, torn
There's a giant dead
asunder
ogre, yeah.
from the intestines outward.
Oh,
in
he
the
was
corner that
absolutely
nobody
fucking
seems to be doing anything with.
destroyed.
He was
literally
destroyed.
eviscerated and burned. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so does he still have pockets?
I already
He has
searched
a
him. That's how I
loincloth.
got the sack.
All right. Oh, he has a loincloth.
He
Okay.
only had a loincloth. All he had was the sack, and I took it.
All right.
Any pockets he has, I don't think you want to go in. Just saying.
Yeah, I'll
Oh,
still
yeah.
That's true.
steer
The
clear
flush
of those.
pockets are
There's definitely one big pocket there to worry about.
flush pockets.
Nope.
Yeah, he's an ogre. It's cultural clothing. But there are two sets of there are two doors in the north.
All right, I'm going to.
And I'm up here just like still like holding up my skirts. Like, what the fuck is this?
I just go back to loading though.
Yeah, you don't even care. I don't think Jacques cared at all at any point in time or even paid attention.
Because like, oh,
Fuck
the
him.
idiots are up to something again. Whatever. I'm gonna keep doing this job because I'm a consummate professional.
So, am I able to like? Wait, am I able to like sneak under the door or?
You can sneak under the door for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
You sneak under the door. You find yourself in a room that smells of must and root vegetables and drying spices.
Okay.
seems to be a basement. And in the north, as you know from having been outside, you are in the basement of a domicile. There is a ladder at the top.
Okay.
At the top? I mean, it is at the top of the room, but in the north of the room.
I'm gonna go up the ladder.
Okay, because you are so small, I will need a climb check with the rat
Do rats
stats.
have a climbing speed?
There's no climbing speed. If there was a climbing speed, you wouldn't have to make a check. So you're going to want athletics. I guess I'd give it to you for dexterity, acrobatics.
Ooh, pretty good. 19.
All right.
Mhm.
You don't die immediately.
Easy. I mean, rats can climb.
Rats can jump and climb, absolutely.
Rats can, yes, they absolutely can.
Jump, climb, swim, they can get everywhere.
It was just a question of whether you'd be able to do that in enough time to catch these guys as they were leaving.
Oh shit, yeah, okay.
As the cart is almost fully loaded. Yeah, you make it to the top. There is a trap door. So as a rat, you probably would not be able to open the door, but you can always drop your
Yeah, I'm going to get out of rat mode.
Yep, you're in
Yes.
Dysana mode. What you do?
I am going to just like listen and see if I can hear anything.
Okay.
Any danger.
Obviously, that will be a perception check.
I smell if there's danger. I get to roll advantage.
If it's smell based, yeah.
No. Oh, 14.
A 14. A 14 is not bad. You can hear distant voices and footsteps, and what sounds like chopping. Like somebody is perhaps chopping vegetables.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna open the door. I'm gonna try to open the door. See if it's locked.
Or is not locked.
Okay.
But it probably should have been. All right, you do it. You pop up into what is clearly a kitchen
Yeah.
of someone's house.
I look around.
Go ahead and roll stealth for me.
To imagine,
Shit
you know
on
the
a
scene
Dick.
in Evil Dead where like the crazy one that they
Yeah,
block
like,
in the basement and then she comes up. That's what I'm imagining.
That's what I'm going for.
You get a 24 on your stealth. Dysana, there is a beefy old woman, rustic sort of rough spun skirt and an apron and a kerchief upon her head. Her back is to you, and she is humming as she is chopping carrots. And there is the smell of stew, which you can actually see boiling over a fire.
And she doesn't.
She does not, with a 24 in stealth, no, she does not notice.
I'm gonna look around and see if I feel like I can get to another room quietly.
You would absolutely have to go directly past that woman to get to the door.
I'm just going to give up on this adventure.
You're just going to give up on this event?
And I'm just gonna crawl back out, and I'm just gonna open the door and walk out. And I'm just gonna be like, hello.
The tiefling woman turns around, looks up at you, looks back at her clipboard, looks back up at you, and then drops the clipboard. Where did you come from?
It doesn't matter. Are we done here?
I would say that it rather does matter.
No,
What? How did you get in here?
doesn't matter.
It
I'm
matters.
gonna walk over to Resh.
It's amazing. Doesn't matter.
So I'm just gonna talk to Resh in our little language
Into
and be
backseat?
like, did I miss it? I
Yep.
found
She's just like super monotone about all of this. Just whatever.
I just love that the other one's still like aghast and someone's already like moved past it. And
She's
not
like,
even
it doesn't matter. Like,
It's just
I
not even-
already told you.
not even talking to her anymore. Just like, anyway.
Do you know this person? She says to Jack, because Jack is right next to her.
No, not at all.
Should I get him? Get her! Should we attack? This is a highly sensitive operation.
Unfortunately, that will be an extra charge, as that was not negotiated previously. I mean, you're more than welcome to do it yourself. I'm not going to stop you, but I've already done so much. Oh.
I'm so happy. She's just agog and at a loss. What is going on with Resh and Dysana?
Well, Resh is just replying in in the same language and just giving like a brief recap of what happened with like the turtles, like after we arrived here, like moving the boxes and then the turtles and all the mess that happened.
So, does this tiefling know?
You don't know.
She's the clipboard holder.
Okay, but was she aware that there was killer turtles?
I mean, she seemed to know that they existed. Yes.
Yes.
Well, why aren't we killing her? This is what I'm asking Resh.
Well, she works for the people. Like, this is part of the job.
Yeah, but you almost got killed. Why, if she knew about it and she sent...
Well, I don't think they were supposed to get out. That was the ogre's fault. Like, I mean, he dropped the box.
Oh, okay. Well, he's dead, so that's good.
Yeah, he already paid that price.
Dark.
I'm going to walk over to Jack, and I'm going to look at Jack, and I'm going to be like...
Hello there.
Not saying a word. Not
I found this. Are you able to tell me? And I show him the broken...
Well, it looks like a stick. They come from trees. Sometimes they have leaves, but not always.
All right. Thank you. I now know your worth.
At your service, as always.
I now know your worth. What a fucking baron. That's good.
And I light a cigarette.
It has to be on one of those long cigarette holders, though.
Right. It's a clove, though. It's a clove.
It has to be a clove cigarette, absolutely.
Is the tiefling woman still aghast this whole time?
She's aghast. She's just like
the entire time.
So, okay. Let it not be said that I cannot roll with the punches.
So while all this is happening, Hot Pants is trying really hard to sneak. Can I please roll a stealth check that I'm trying to get to this door?
You can absolutely do that if you want, yes.
Yes, the stealth check that I have both disadvantage and -2 modifier on, yes. Mm-hmm.
Sure to go well. 2 nat 20s.
Uh-huh. 2 14s! So I got 12s. 2 12s.
The tiefling lady turns to speak to Jack and just says, "What? Are we not doing anything about this? Seems highly irregular." And she catches you moving out of the corner of her eye, and she says, "Hey, you there! Get away from the door!
I wasn't doing anything. I gotta pee, okay?" And he just comes over here and he like turns towards the corner and he starts whipping out his...
that. Oh, please don't do that.
Where am I supposed to pee? I gotta pee. An old man gotta pee. I see nowhere to pee. I'm just peeing.
You are peeing. You're actively peeing. This is not a discussion that you're having. You're like, it's more like you're trying to...
before I got my dick out of my pants, man. I'm 70 years old. It was already happening.
It's actually fairly bog standard for the Brotherhood of the Centipede. So I suppose I shouldn't complain. Don't go through that door, though.
Pee, I can see it. It's dripping. It's flowing under this door. I should really make sure that it doesn't get into it.
I turn to Resh and I'm like, "There's just a large woman making stew."
Just a large woman making stew. He watches you intently as you pee to make sure you don't go through the door. Well, we're going to explain that way later on.
It had carrots.
And we'll say with that, as you guys have been loading up the cart in the background, all of the crates and sacks and barrels that the tiefling lady had previously indicated to you are now loaded up onto the cart.
So Resh will just be like, ma'am, but, I mean, what do we call you? I don't know. Either way, clipboard, madam, the cart is loaded.
What? Oh, yes. Terrific job. You survived. You passed the test. And I will be sure to pass that along to Skint with this. And she retrieves an item from the back of the clipboard. She retrieves a slip of paper. Notice of mark that you have completed that which was expected of you. You may bring that back to Skint. However, I would ask you to load up onto the cart and please place sacks upon your head so that you might not contaminate the secrecy of this operation.
I look to Resh and I say, "I know exactly."
Contaminate!
Banch, I'm going to assume that Dysana said that in Tabaxi.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Resh
Yeah.
just nods. And,
As funny as it would be. You're like, yeah, I know
yeah,
exactly.
we're a little more discreet than that, usually. So yeah, Resh will just find a space on the cart and kind of grumble to himself, but oblige and just cover up.
Alright, Hot Pants is gonna come. He's gonna turn around and come over to get on the cart. But as he walks to the cart, you guys notice that he has completely forgotten to put his dick back in his pants, and his fly is just wide open. Just so you know.
Put that away. The number one rule of
What?
illegal operations is to not commit other illegal acts that could get you arrested in the process.
Illegal acts. What are we talking about? He's completely confused. He has no idea
Your
his dick is
phallus
out.
is exposed.
My friend, ma'am, my eyes are up here.
For the love of Gary.
I just kind of shut my.
We're so proud.
I mean, you should be. All right, I put the sack on my head. Fine. I put the sack that I took from Grunion over my head, so it actually just goes over like my whole body.
Yeah, you're in a body bag now. You're in Grunion's sack. You're so happy.
I'm in Grunion's sack. I am.
You can hear the sound of chains clinking and operating, and the door creaking open, and the sound of what sounds to be a donkey, sort of low-key braying and complaining underneath its donkey breath as it is attached to the yoke of your of the wagon, and you guys are trundling off, just kind of laying there with sacks on your heads. You can hear the sound of the bustling marketplace, or your whole body, your whole body. Your whole body.
Are we Swedish? Your whole body.
Yeah, you do a very good job of sitting on the cart there. Bergen, and you trundle through the streets of town, and eventually the cart comes to a stop, and you are ushered out. You may remove the sacks from your head, should you find yourself capable of doing so.
Yeah, immediately out.
Yeah, I fell asleep in my sack. You know, all you hear is snoring.
Terrific.
Just like the biggest snore you've ever heard.
If the other two have taken their sacks off, Resh is just gonna look at Dasana and Jack and kind of glance at the bag like, should we, like, wait
just leave him. Just leave him.
Send the donkey off. They'll end up somewhere. It's fine.
Fucking rats.
You find yourself in front of Welk's Tavern, parked.
So I'm gonna hop off the wagon. Well, you know what? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try and pick up the sack that is holding Hot Pants. And if he's not too heavy, pick him up and just like lean the sack up against the next to the door of the tavern.
Cool. That makes sense.
I mean, I need a nap. If you let me sleep long enough, I'll get some health back.
Skint welcomes you back and says, "How did they perform?" He says to the tiefling lady. He says, "Well, Grunion's dead, but they got the job done. Those creatures are really quite they're difficult customers, but they did quite a good job. They even managed to survive mostly. So yes, everything is good. I have no idea who this one is. She just showed up, sort of halfway through, and that seems to interest Skint, who looks Dysana up and down and says, "Ah, yes, I see. Not quite willing to play by the rules. I can respect that. Very well. You may take advantage of the rooms in the back to sleep for the evening. Take your ease. You seem to be slightly injured all around, so lick your wounds, and then I shall provide you with the information that you seek. Does that sound acceptable?"
I think so.
I'm asleep outside. I can't.
Yes, where is the fourth of your number?
Well,
Perhaps.
He's kind of old, and I think he fell asleep on the way here, so we kind of left him by the door.
Just taking a little dragon nap.
Dragon nap. Was not torn asunder then. That's, I suppose, good news for you.
That would tell that you don't really know him.
I'll take that on faith. He did drop his dick onto one of my tables.
Yeah, we thought it might be better to avoid that, so we just kind of left him by the door.
Much appreciation. All right.
I've showed my dick to both of the people at the place, and I showed my dick to the tiefling woman in the Just
Gotta show off that bad dragon. All right, it is heading on into evening. The rooms are small and kind of gross, but they are acceptable. You will definitely be able to sleep out the night in them and wake up in the morning rested and refreshed, which is how you know that this is fantasy escapism.
We just slept 8 hours with no problem and no drugs, nothing.
Yep. Well, I mean, aside from the drugs you took earlier.
Yeah, it's true. I did still have some on my stash, my pistachio.
Hot Pants wakes up on the curb in a sack as the carriage went on without him taking the merchandise to the gods only know where.
Let's go ask some gods.
So you awaken in the morning. It's quiet downstairs. Welk isn't up and about, but Skint is sitting at one of the tables in the bar area.
Who's the first one away?
You know what? Honestly, it's probably the old man who wants to go get his old country buffet in the morning. Probably up at like 5:30 a.m. because old people can't sleep past that. So
Lysandra only needs 4 hours long rest.
She
that's
doesn't need
cool.
sleep.
And it's not like...
Yeah, it's like meditation for elves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But she just stays in the room smoking. Used to having to...
Yeah, he's just curled up and sleeping the whole night.
She gives him little scritches behind his
Except
ears.
for a brief bit at 3 a.m. where his eyes got all wide and he started running all over the place and jumping
Right, yeah.
off of them.
He's had the zoomies real quick and then we're laid back down.
But for no more than like an hour, so it didn't interrupt his 8 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. It's part of the sleeping process. Yes,
man.
Skint is downstairs waiting for you.
Coffee! He needs his fucking coffee. You know. he's just chilling with his coffee in the corner being grumpy and morning hot pants.
Yep, grumpy morning hot pants.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. So, I assume you'll be on your way today, but do make sure to check in when next you are in town, for we might have more work for you. You are involved with the Order of the Centipede now. You are an asset.
Turtles. As long as I don't get attacked by turtles again. Yeah, what was up with these fucking turtles?
Well, they are a part of an important sort of underground social mingling situation that we have with some of our benefactors. There's a mutual relationship that we have with some of the people in town, and it behooves us to occasionally accommodate them with certain activities. So
They like to watch turtles fight each other, is what you're saying.
they like to bet on turtles fighting each other.
Yeah. So we got some tickets to this show. When's the next show?
Yes, as I said, a lady did keep me apprised of that little arrangement that she made. We do need people to work as a sort of bouncer situation for that. So that would be the means by which you would be entering into it, but that won't be for another 2 days.
Wait, I thought we
The
just
day
got
after
tickets to
tomorrow
the show. I didn't
evening.
realize we had to do work to go to the show. You're just throwing work at us. And then what do we get in return for this bouncer?
That will be 500 gold pieces for the evening. Benefactors just like to make sure that there won't be any sort of ruckus. It's unlikely that anything will happen.
If we do an extra good job, could there possibly be some strange porn as a bonus on top of the 500 gold pieces? This is all that matters. I there's this guy in town. Maybe I don't know. He might give you some cool stuff to give to me.
Must say, you drive a strange fucking bargain.
I'm just saying, if you want me to work harder, get me to work harder. You know what I'm talking about.
You want to know what? I've learned not to question those who come into our provenance. Perhaps that is my flaw.
Yeah, I'm talking about giving me a bonus.
Anyway, about our previous arrangement.
Yes, the location to the archaic dragon horde of Lord Hamadryas himself.
He goes into like the sack at his side and withdraws a map.
Of maps.
Our very own Grunion once headed an expedition into the Pine Wilds. and wrote down what he found out there, including the dragon's lair.
Dragon. This fucking map right now.
You
Okay.
see where it says Doug got Ed here?
Doug got Eddie.
Pissed off
Doug
fucking
got
tree.
Eddie.
Doug got
Oh,
Eddie
yes.
here.
Ah, yes, Doug. It's a capital fellow. Received a capital punishment.
He got eaten?
He got Ed. Looks like he got Ed.
Yes, he did, in the far west of the coast.
Can we borrow this map, or can we make a copy of it? Like,
It is yours. We have copies.
perfect. Thank
This
you.
fucking map.
I suddenly wish Grunion hadn't died. I could use more Grunion artwork, to be honest.
Yeah, I want him. I wish he was like with us and like our
We have-
companion.
We have 2 days to kill. We might be able to do something about that.
He also did tasteful news.
Yeah, he's been.
So we have the existence of tasteful nudes, and we have someone who's looking for, how shall we say, unique illicit materials. So I think that's sort of a natural coalescence, and I am of course personally looking forward to the illustrations that you will make for this.
Why do I talk? So the day has dawned. The hustle and bustle of the city has begun climbing to its zenith, and you guys are in possession of the map that you need to find the dragon's lair, to find the Castorian spyglass that will lead you to whatever item you please.
Dun, 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 dun.
But we do need to still talk to Captain Gregivore, right?
Yeah.
Because Lady Brightgleam had asked us to inform him of the situation.
Yeah,
at
we got the letter of recommendation and everything.
Right, yeah, we got a letter marked from her to ease that. But she
So
did
we need
want,
to go.
it was one of the few people
stop
she
by
did say to
there,
tell about.
We could
Yeah.
also the Wanderlust Navy Admiral Cardigan and his first mate Animal Cracker McGee.
No, that we need to talk.
Well, we could just stop by that captain's place.
Yeah, we do probably. Well,
Not
he probably knows
terrible.
already, but
Yeah, we know where to go, but not what can await us on the way. And since they send scouts
Yeah.
out into the wilds from time to time,
well, something
might be
ate
able-
Doug over there, so I mean that's something to watch out for.
well, not to mention the spider bit.
Yeah, but
Well, something ate Doug over there. so-
also a
Well,
tree that
none
can
of us-
apparently get pissed off. So
Yeah.
Yes,
Luckily, no
something
one here
ate
is named
Doug
Doug.
over there and over there and over there.
Oh.
But that was him all over.
poor Doug. Rest
We
in
don't know
peace.
how he was at, so maybe it was good sometimes. Sometimes it was
Yeah.
bad.
Maybe Grunion ate Doug.
Yeah.
I believe
He
the
doesn't-
phrase
he doesn't
downward
say.
facing Doug was thrown around.
Oh no! Oh no!
Rest in pieces.
What?
Rest in pieces.
But see,
Oh.
the relic hunter in Resh makes me want to get like additional maps to compare this one to get more information.
Yeah, Hot Pants is just like, let's go to the fucking dragon
He's
pit.
like,
let's get some
This
dragon
is a nice
porn.
map, but not really.
I mean, look how good this map is. I mean, honestly, Hot Pants is impressed with this map. This is good work. He's like,
Scholarly.
everything we need to know. Everything we need to know is right here. We got the pine
Mhm.
wilds. We got some water up here. We
Some
got
water.
this pissed off fucking tree. We got dragon lairs. And we know exactly where Doug got et. So we're good.
All very good points, and Resh is just gonna head like looking for the polar star, if it's reasonably easy to find.
Yeah. Like there's like it's like a mall. There's like occasionally like maps that have like you are here, and
Okay,
stuff.
yeah.
Okay, and then you check the
And-
legend with the little A4.
Alright, the bathrooms are over here.
God, I remember doing that so
And
often now.
Orpheus is here. This is me. We'll meet them.
FYE
At
is
Hot
over
Topic.
here. And there's Hot Topic,
Mhm.
so obviously.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
be in Hot Topic.
yeah. Of course. Hot Pants is just in the food court eating everything.
Should we make sure that this one pees looking over at Hot Pants?
What are you implying, young lady?
We're implying that you piss your pants.
That's fucking fair.
You go down a little side street just across from the Steve and Barry's, and near the Dick's Sporting Goods you find the Polar Star. There's a little sign hanging outside of the wooden door of this storefront. There's a dangling sign that depicts a sphere with crosshatches on it that would seem to indicate longitude and latitude, and the text, "The Polar Star. Fine map makers."
Yeah, just walk inside. If it looks like they're open, I mean,
yeah. They appear to have just opened, like most of the. Right, you guys filter into a room with a number of maps up on the walls, depicting all sorts of lands all across the land of Aranarka. Sitting at a desk just inside, with light focused through a lens from the window onto a piece of paper, immediately in front of him is a Warforged, one of those fantastic tin men. He has a pen in his hand, and he is moving it back and forth and sort of changing the pressure of the pen on the paper as he moves it, so that as he goes down the page, he's creating an image. So it's more like a printer than drawing. Without pausing in his map printing, the Warforged turns his head a full 180 degrees and looks at you guys as you come up on him. He says, "Request."
Maps, Pine Wilds.
Maps of the Pine Wilds are hard to come by. The area is not fully and properly explored.
Well, I'd still like to see what you got.
He finally pauses in the printing out of whatever map it is that he is producing, which seems to be an island somewhere. Not this island, as far as you can see. "Very well, I will search through the archive. Please give me a moment." And he moves to the back of the room where there is a door, and he exits through the door. You guys are left alone in the little front room of the shop.
You said there's maps like already of different areas already just kind of hanging along the walls?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, then Resh is studying those, like whichever one is closest to him.
Yep, you can tell that this person does good work. As you look on the coast of the land of Verdance, far to the south, which is a largely unpenetrated wilderness. Nothing. Okay, that's good. And yet, nonetheless, there are a number of temples that seem to be detailed. Temple locations in the land of Verdance, of ancient cultures.
We've got a couple of literal temple
Right?
crawlers here. They're gonna get real excited.
Resh just pulls out his notebook and starts making notes of like
Right?
places. Like, there's one.
After a moment, the door opens and the Warforged comes back out, and you can hear a voice coming from the back room as he opens the door, which says, "I told him to have better ideas. God." The door closes, and the Warforged says, "I was not able to find much in detail, but we have some copies of ancient maps. They may no longer be relevant, but you are welcome to them for the price of 50 gold.
How many maps are we talking?
We have a total of 3 maps, ranging in age from 150 years ago to just before the Dragon War.
Well, I think
Somewhat recent.
could offer it in trade. I also really want to know Warford's reaction to this quality.
Not understanding his craftsmanship. And I don't want to give up this copy without making a copy of it myself. So,
Right.
Can I see the work before I purchase one, perhaps?
50 gold per map?
50 gold for the totality of the 3 maps. And yes, you may see them. So he does show you the maps. I admit, I do not have them prepared.
I don't need art for them. But Resh is going to just kind of look at each one of them and kind of look to see if, any of them are more detailed than the others, comparing the 3 of them based on the ages.
Like anything interesting?
There is less. Well, it's certainly not as lovingly made. No indication of the final resting place of one Doug.
Right.
Very professional. There's talk of settlements. There's, for example, on one map, the village of Vagabond is a burnt-out shell, whereas in another, it seems to be like a thriving town. There's little illustrations that sort of show trade routes and things. It's clear that in the later maps, Vagabond is not up to snuff.
Okay. So there's 3 maps, one very old, one somewhat less old, and one somewhat-ish recent, right?
Yes. From the Dragon War is what the Warforged said to you.
Okay. So if I want to buy 2 of these, how much would that be?
Well, that would certainly depend on which 2.
The first and the last.
Is this because you need money, or you just don't want to get
It's kind of both.
all 3? I'm not sure how you can convince him, but if you can convince Hot Pants has money because he had porn.
Yeah, I remember that, but I don't think I knew
How much did I give you for that porn? I forget.
50, and I already had 30, so I have 80 gold pieces.
I find that we could come down in our prices to 35 gold pieces for that lesser purchase. And you hear a voice from the other room going, "What? Oh." The door opens. There's another Warforged standing framed in the doorway, and he says, "Ringot, you can't just go down from the sticker price." "I am sorry, Master Nectar."
This is like every guy who's ever worked at a comic book store. Okay.
You put your finger directly on it. "Oh, listen, either you want to buy the map or you don't want to buy the map."
Or may I suggest a third option? We're
No!
interested in these maps. Didn't even hear me out. That's so rude.
So rude.
Yeah, if you want us to buy these maps or not, you should be a little more accommodating. And I was only going to say, we're actually going to be making a trip out into the Pine Wilds, which is why we want these maps. But since we know that your inventory is relatively out of date, you could give us these maps, and we could make new maps from our journey, and then give them to you. And you, of course, in all of Wanderlust, would have the most up-to-date maps of the Pine Wilds.
Are you guys like cartographers?
No.
There's little of that.
I mean, I am.
Do you actually have a thing for cartography?
Proficiency with cartographer's tools.
Oh yeah? Well, name 5 landforms.
Okay. I mean, I don't have a thing for cartography, but Resh certainly knows 5 landforms.
Cool.
That would have been better if I had any idea, but I don't.
Like
Square,
mountains,
round,
lakes,
flat.
Square round, yeah.
bumpy,
Some
not bumpy.
plebeian choices there. I guess you know, like, the basics.
Well, enough to get me by.
Alright, fine. 35 gold on the promise that you come back with the updated maps. Is that okay?
For the whole bundle?
Yeah, the 3 maps, I guess.
How about
Is
20?
that acceptable? Noob?
Noob.
I don't know. I mean, look at the quality of this establishment. I've heard really good things about Meridius's and their cartography services. They probably have a much better map than these.
Meridius is a fucking hag.
Well, hags can still have good maps.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yes. Well, I mean,
Yes.
obviously, they're probably better than these ones. I mean, look
Is
at this.
Meridius
The quality of the
actually a
paper,
hag?
the
You don't know?
mediocre inkmanship. I mean, I've seen better maps in my sleep.
That doesn't make sense. You can't see things when you sleep. Your eyes are closed. Do you want me to kick you out of here? This is the best cartographer in town. You want to get kicked out of the best cartographers in town?
We haven't visited the best cartographer yet.
Oh, do you see this? This is a
Oh no. Oh no.
This is
oh,
a
no.
first edition. A grand map of the pyramids of Cartouche. You're not gonna find that at Meridius's.
Well, I've seen those
Yeah, but-
pyramids.
What did you get this map graded at, though? This looks like a 7 at best. I mean, sure, it's ancient, but the condition is atrocious.
It is meant in package.
I distinctly see a cheese stain in this corner.
I don't know what. Oh, there is a little cheese in the corner.
Yeah,
Just
a little bit.
I get hungry.
Totally, I
Okay.
get that.
This whole thing is just solely to drive Mamie right off her fucking
I'm
rocker.
gonna fucking piss myself.
There's a corner right over there. You can prompt a persuasion roll. What are you trying exactly to persuade him to do? To give you more of a discount?
Yeah, Rush says 20 gold, and I trust his cartographer skills.
What's 25?
25. Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and make a persuasion roll.
Nope.
Just no.
This is why I don't roll dice.
You're stupid. Get out. Oh my god.
The hot pants is just like, wait, why are we here?
That's 35 or nothing,
Nope.
okay? I'm already, lowering myself to talk with you plebs.
So, where are the maps right now while these people are...
I know,
They
right?
are in Wingot's grasp. The
Oh, so he's holding all of them?
Yes, he is holding them. He has basically gone into, inanimate object mode. He's just standing there, just, dispassionately watching the goings-ons.
Okay.
So I go to Resh and I'm like, Tabaxi, why do you need these maps? Like, what?
Because
What-
maps are important when you're hunting things.
But what have you seen on the maps that makes you think it's gonna be?
Well, I don't know, but I
more
can't,
helpful?
it's rude to just, try and memorize the map while we're standing here.
Is it rude? is it rude?
Well, it's also kind of hard because he's still holding the maps. But, I mean, they could be useful in discerning potential errors in Grunyon's map, if any.
I can try to distract him by pulling out my cock.
Let's just stick with the investment. That's, if you want to just throw in 10...
I've got my talents.
Good.
I wanted to offer them.
I mean,
Okay.
your talents in that regard are most prodigious, but if we could just stick with 10 gold, that would probably be all we need
All
right now.
Tabaxi. You know what? I'm feeling generous today. I'm feeling the friendship. I'm feeling.
So what? Have you decided, you lamos, to take my cool map and go on with your lame
Also,
lives?
this guy's just really fucking annoying. I just want to get the fuck out of this store.
I just hand him the 35 gold and hold out my hand for the maps.
Yeah.
He, smacks it out of your hand and, grabs it up, way rougher than he otherwise could. Fucking posers. God. Wingot, give him the thing. And he storms back to the back room. And Wingot lurches back to life and he says,
I apologize for the master. He is not user-friendly.
So I reach into my pockets and I grab some paper and I rip it very loudly and just say, "Oops,
he storms back. What?
nothing. We should go. Let's leave."
Not funny. Ugh.
I just take straight the we just paid for and start heading outside.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, so you guys now have a handful of other maps of a great deal higher professionality than Grunyon's submission.
Can I still see the fucking guy? What's his name?
I would say that he's sort of skulking around and scowling at you guys now. He now does not want to leave you guys alone in his shop.
We're gonna steal. Yeah, we're gonna steal.
I was afraid Jack is gonna rip something.
I don't want you to
No,
break
I'm
my
ca-
stuff.
I'm kind of gonna walk behind Resh, and I'm gonna cast Shminshmestation on him.
Okay. You're gonna cast. Okay, so you cast Shminshmestation.
Oh my god.
No, but I'm kind of timing this as we walk out.
So you're going to unleash a bunch of pests and bugs into this cartographer's.
Yeah.
And maybe for a
Yes,
little
she
bit of
is.
flavor, some of them can be termites or ones that eat paper.
Termites,
Oh my
paper
God.
wasps, moths, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Just as we're leaving.
As you're leaving,
Yeah.
and then all you hear is yelling.
Fucking noobs!
I am buying you a drink later.
He is every neckbeard that's ever worked at a comic book store, and it's amazing.
So wherever
What?
we're headed next, I don't know. But during whatever that is, Resh is just looking at all the maps that we just bought, plus the one we got from Grunyon's map, and it's just doing his fun comparisons of where they have marked all the things, all them things.
Yeah, you can tell that the settlements have shifted a
He's just
bit.
having a great time.
Most of the ones in question are actually larger maps of the entire island of Wanderlust. So they kind of have that going for them, where Grunyon's was just a detail. There are a few on the middle map, the second oldest of the 3 maps that you've just picked up. There is a little inset that indicates Half Moon Rock as one of the landmarks within the boundaries of the Pine Wilds. And sort of cross-referencing it with Grunyon's, it does appear that it's in roughly the same spot as Dragon Layer.
Wherever we're headed next, that's Resh is just kind of in his thoughts, just comparing maps and doing all that fun stuff. Triangulating and comparing and contrasting and all that good nonsense.
At one point, he puts them on the ground and just sits on them.
I had to think about this for a minute.
Sits on top of
They're my
them.
maps now.
My butt has been on them.
Little blip.
Oh man.
I really just keep dumping cat things onto what you're doing.
Yeah, I've embraced it.
Yeah, he loves it.
You have been informed that you love it. Any thoughts on what your guys' next heading will be?
Well, I'd look to Resh for that one. He seems to know what he's talking about. So where do you think we should go next?
We're looking for the Dragon Lair, which also may or may not coincide with Half Moon Rock, near the waterfall.
Oh, that's interesting. Do you know where Half Moon Run is, or a rock? Or is it that just like a legend correlation?
It's marked on this other map.
Oh, I see.
From
Well, you did seem quite keen to go see Captain Gregor, so we could.
I thought the whole point was that we were gonna get this. Find out.
Well, I
what
mean,
it's
Lady-
from.
Well, there's sort of.
yeah, Lady Bragley must have asked us to impart some news to the captain.
Well, in addition, the captain has been sending scouts into the wilds because
Everybody's asking so much of us.
even if we know
So
where
much
we're
work.
going, we don't know what's between us and there. And I personally would prefer a little more information. You can saunter off into the distance if you so desire.
I mean, don't tempt me.
But I mean,
I,
I would
I'll
rather you
lose
not
out,
wander
I'll
off.
tempt.
But Jack is also making. Jack, do you mind if I call you Jack? By the way, actually,
oh no, of course. We're good friends now, I'm sure.
well,
We fought turtles
Sure.
together.
you saved my life, so I mean, I owe you a little bit, at least, or at least I assume you
It
do.
just turns and walks away.
Yeah, I assume so. Yeah, Half Moon Rock seems to line up with also what Ossifer said about the old den too.
Are you excited to possibly rechart territory?
Yeah,
I mean, you could
100%.
become. Yeah, I mean, you could become the next Nectar.
Please don't compare me to that guy.
Of course. You're actually quite the talented cartographer. He's not so much.
Well, you haven't seen my maps, please.
I've seen his maps, which is more than enough.
No, you're very kind. But yes, we should stop in and see the captain, and then probably head out. He's probably up by now. It's still early morning. Should pop in there and pass on Lady Brightgleam's letter.
Hmm. Well, I mean, it would also be good to let people know where we're going, just in case we end up getting lost or injured and we don't return in time. We are kind of acting on the behalf of Lady Brightgleam, so I'm sure he'd be willing to cover us if necessary.
True. And getting the scouts reports could be very useful. I like it. Let's do that.
And then, of course, if we happen to inform them about the cult or the centipede or the whatever the insectuous people are.
He's incestuous.
But maybe don't mention that so loud. But yes. But maybe. Yeah, we should go see the captain. Hop in real quick.
Okay. Now, you are looking for his private home?
Well, I assume at this hour he's probably already at whatever accounts for a guardhouse or a...
Yes, there is a
His
guardhouse that
workplace.
is kind of towards the center of the horde.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a stone structure, square on, a four-sided stone structure with a yard in front of it. It's a Dragon Guard station in the center of the city. Wow, I told you that I was sleepy. There are guards sort of running patrols out in the front, and at the very front of the yard, there's like a short wall around the yard. There is a building that is sort of designed for the public to enter into to issue complaints or ask for assistance or whatever.
I'm imagining there's probably not signs that say, Captain's office, this way.
No,
So-
there is a rather grouchy-looking human desk clerk, or duty officer at the front desk who doesn't look up as you guys come in. He's just like writing something down.
Okay,
You wanna handle this, or
you can.
sure? Oh, why not? So I'll go up to the desk. Can I have the letter?
Yeah.
I take the letter out and just leave like a seal on it or anything, some sort of thing that like denotes who it's from.
Yeah, it would. It's pressed with sealing wax and some sort of signet ring.
Okay, so I place the seal in the direction of the, I don't know, desk clerk, and I smack it loudly on the table to get his attention.
Sort of like collects himself and just like rolls his eyes a little bit and says,
All right, what do you want?
Well, I have this letter that contains information of paramount importance that I dare say Captain Gregor would be interested in. So I would love to pass it off.
Sorry, do you need help reading the letter? Is that what it is?
Yes, actually, we're all illiterate, of course, and only Captain Gregor can interpret the contents of this letter appropriately. And we, being illiterate country bumpkins, need his help.
So you come in with a letter for the captain,
That's correct.
and you just want me to waltz right up and give him the letter.
Yes.
No.
Interrupt what he's doing with his day.
Well, I believe that the contents of this letter would sort of supersede anything that's going on in his day. And I don't know about
Super
you.
what? I cannot understand the language that you are saying right now.
That's fine. All I can say is I wouldn't want to be the person who kept Captain Gregor from this very, very important information. What's your name?
Desk Sergeant Grimeld.
I take my journal out and I write Desk Sergeant Grimeld. Uh-huh. And you're the person who's telling me that I can't deliver this letter?
I am the person who is designed to keep the riffraff out of the station. What are you writing?
Nothing. Just taking notes for a follow-up report that may or may not contain information and details of this conversation.
I thought you said you was illiterate.
Oh, I can't read it, but I can write it. It's a talent of mine.
There's something about that don't quite stand to reason.
Yeah, I could see how you could feel that way. But I'm just, making sure that when I have to report this incident, that I make sure I have your name.
But nobody's reporting. What? Okay, you want me to give the letter to Gregor?
I was instructed
what
to
I'm
deliver the letter. To deliver the letter personally.
Personally now.
Yeah, I don't want to make an imposition on you. You wouldn't have to get up from your desk or anything that would be so strenuous. Just that you would have to let us go talk to the captain.
On whose authority?
Lady Aula Brightclean.
Lady Hula, what now? I've never heard no olive like cream.
Oh,
I didn't mean to
that's
say that
unfortunate.
wrong, but I'm gonna roll with it.
Say olive bright cream or something.
I look over at Resh and I'm like,
Can we kill this guy?
I feel like you're going the right way for an intimidation roll.
23. Ooh.
23? And me?
Well, fine. I guess, go ahead and waste the captain's time, I suppose.
Better than wasting yours.
I am in agreement with that statement.
And so, where could we find the captain?
Just up the stairs, end of the hallway. He's got the corner office.
Thank you. I'm glad we could see eye to eye on that. And I'm just gonna walk past.
Don't let the door hit you yeah.
Good day, sir. And he just walks by too.
You too.
as we're leaving, I cast Shminshmestation.
Just leaving bugs wherever you go.
That's leaving bugs everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good thing for her.
Everyone who's
yeah,
been
it's
kind of a
great.
dick. She's just like, dead bugs.
Well, at the
As
same
you-
time, she's like completely monotone and doesn't give a fuck about anybody. It's just like whatever. And then like if they slightly are kind of rude to her, she's like, yeah, and here's bugs.
As you guys plod up the stairs, you suddenly hear, "Oh, my donut!" And you guys go up the stairs, and there is a line of doors down a hallway, and at the very end, there is a much larger and more ornate door. It has a sign, a little plaque on it that reads Captain Stradivarius Gregivore.
Perfect. Do you think we should knock first or just go on in?
Well, I think if our previous encounters are anything to go by, we should just cut out the middleman and start with the bugs, and then see what happens.
There's a letter flap for letters and mail and stuff. You could just
Go for it.
I mean,
I think we all three just said the word.
I mean, maybe not. Maybe we don't get off on the wrong foot with this guy.
And now we know who has to do the talking. And I hit Resh with the envelope.
Okay, fine.
You volunteered.
Knock on the door.
It's open.
No, I'll just walk in then.
There is a red dragonborn sitting at the desk. He seems to be reading some reports.
Right. Whom do I owe the pleasure?
Well, we haven't met, but I'm Resh. But this letter probably explains more than I can in a brief amount of time. And I just hand him Lady Brightgleam's letter.
All right. He takes the letter and he takes a cursory glance at the sealed wax on the front, looks at you appraisingly, cracks it open, and starts reading it.
Ah, most disturbing, but it does appear to be Lady Brightgleam's hand. How are you all mixed up in this? Normally it doesn't take four, rather, if you will not mind the offense, strange-looking individuals to courier a letter across the city.
Excuse me. And he just stands there and he like stares him down. He's like, I'm strange looking, Mr. Red Dragonborn.
Sir, I can see your testicles.
You know what?
Could zip
Fair
that
enough.
up.
I'm back off.
Well, it just happens to coincide with, tasks that the lady had asked us to look into. Decided to drop it off ourselves. But also, we could use some information.
I see. Well, this is the first I'm hearing of this, so I will have to send out feelers to figure out exactly what is going on here.
Well, that. But also, obviously, your most prodigious discretion, as the lady requested, that we not broadcast these kind of things, but she did want
Yes,
to
I read
inform.
as much. I have no desire to see the value of this community go downhill. Lord Hamadryas is the rock onto which this city's economy is grafted.
Indeed.
If knowledge of his disappearance were to get out, I fear for the business owners of this
Agreed.
city. No, we will be the utmost of discretion.
Excellent. We do have a few inquiries to make on our own, but we were hoping that you might be able to provide some insight from any reports you may have received from the Pine Wilds, because we're shortly headed that direction.
From the Pine Wilds, how does that enter into the equation?
We think something that might be useful could be found somewhere out there, so we're headed out to find it.
Interesting. My jurisdiction extends as far as the city limits. It is rare that need sojourn into that wild place. Primarily our concern with it is creatures coming out and harassing the citizenry, and some pockets of independent thieves and brigands that operate out of the Pine Wilds. To their own detriment, no doubt. Understandably easy to be eaten in that land. We generally do not concern ourselves with the Pine Wilds.
Any recent reports of such activity in the vicinity? Any creatures of note or bandit activity that we should be aware of?
Well, there's always bandits haunting the roads, the coast road to Hillport. Some say they're out of the old town of Vagabond. They've often been seen harassing coaches and supply shipments. Hillport is a small town, nowhere near as big as Wanderlust's market town. There's always a certain amount of bandit activity, no noted upticks as far as I know.
But your reports say that they potentially operate out of the what used to be Vagabond?
Indeed.
No. Any upticks or notable activity from creatures or monsters, as you say, coming out of the woods anywhere?
Not in recent years. Most people have the good sense not to go into the Pine Wilds as well. But we have occasionally logged disappearances. Hide nor hair has ever been found.
Any confirmations on what tends to lurk out there?
It is said that there are places within the boundaries of the Pine Wilds that share a close affiliation with the other world. Creatures of fur and fang and bark, eyed with the chaos of nature. I do not have specifics for that, but that is the general vibe. Those who live on the outskirts of town know to not leave the windows open to their children's nurseries lest they be spirited away. That manner of thing.
Okay, good to know. You've been most helpful.
Do you have any wizards on staff?
Isn't it usually a broom?
Right.
Well, we do have a few arcane officers whose job are to look into incidents of magical occurrence.
I need to figure out what this wand does. I plop it on his desk.
This is broken.
Yes, I'm aware.
Not certain if it does anything. Have you tried it? Could be dangerous to operate. Is this related to Lord Hamadryas's...
Fucking wizards.
I'm sorry, I feel like you're going to bite me.
She starts like... Wait, let me see if Primal Savage... So components S, is that speech?
Somatic, which is movement, hand movements or body movements.
Okay.
Yeah.
Primal savagery, but then maybe like Resh sees me and he's like, we just want to figure it out.
Yeah, it's related, but if you could just point the direction of one of those officers of enchantment that you have on staff, that would be most appreciated.
Very well.
I take a deep breath and I light a cigarette.
Thank you for not smoking.
No,
Yes, you will find a young gentleman by the name of Zizi. 3
Zizi?
doors down. Zizi.
No,
yes.
you did not.
2 musician references at one time.
he's this guy. Totally different vibe. He's more of a ZZ Bottom.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Resher scoops the broken wand back into Dishonor's hands and starts making for the door. You said 3 doors down, left or right? Either.
From where we're standing, left.
Perfect. And I'm just gonna go 3 doors down, walk right in there with Dishonor.
Wait, I go
So
back
you just-
into the office. By the way, the person you have working the front desk,
Yes,
he was a dick.
I've heard that before.
He was a fucking dick. I'm
Dishonor's,
working on my anger management.
she's a wild thing. You can't tame that.
I'm trying.
I will take that under advisement.
I'm already gone.
You guys have strode into the magic lab, which is what the plaque on this door proclaims itself to be. It's a little bit dark. It seems kind of abandoned, but you hear a voice from the back room calling out to you. Here it goes.
Ollie, is that you?
No.
Did you bring the sandwiches?
No.
You don't sound like Ollie.
This is true.
Where's Ollie then?
I need help.
Well, I need sandwiches.
I'm gonna walk over to where this person is.
Yep. You walk. There's sort of offices within offices in this room that you found yourself in. Off on the right, there is a little vestibule of an office. You poke your head, and this is clearly where it's coming from. You see a gnome.
Okay.
There is a gnome actively working on things on a bench. Just a whole mess of sort of a random assortment of objects. Looks up at you and goes,
Yeah, all right. What do you need?
I need help deciphering what this wand does. Put it down on.
It's broken.
Yes, I know it is broken. I still
All
need
right.
to.
What else do you need to know then?
What could it do?
Well, I suppose I could. Yeah. It's not really what I'm here to do, but I just.
and he starts rifling through a drawer. He pulls out all kinds of instruments and he starts poking at it. And he sort of like levers it apart a little bit and takes a look. There's like a glowing filament somewhere in between. It seems to be ruptured and everything. It's like and he's like picking it apart for a little bit there, and he just like he straightens up. He says,
Magic missile. Level 1. That's what it
great.
used to do.
Okay. Would we be able to fix it?
Not really. You probably should throw it out. It's dangerous. There's no telling what it might do when you go to use it.
I go to... No, I'm just joking.
Oh my god.
I'm just joking. So, a person of your skill level...
Yeah, no, this is definitely... Well, I mean, like, what? Somebody could fix it, but it would just be cheaper to just get a new one. Between materials and labor.
Next question. Is it still able to do something?
Yeah, probably.
I take the wand and I just walk away.
All right.
I walk back and I just say, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And I walk away.
So that's a no on the sandwiches then.
I look over at Resh and I make eye contact like,
I'll take. I definitely won't.
Hansel thinks that there's sandwiches coming.
You've cast infestation on the duty officer, touched base with the captain, and lightly, possibly attempted to intimidate him. It's hard to say.
No. Did I? Maybe. I don't know.
You've estranged a gnome named Zizi, and
I said
now
thank you.
You did, and honestly, he didn't seem like he was really big on the social graces his own self. So
yeah. See?
And now Hot Pants is looking for a sandwich man to accost.
Somebody said
That's pretty good. What is your guys' next move?
I'm gonna sniff around, see if I can smell anything cool.
Where are we?
Smell
Where
anything
the captain?
cool?
Yeah, like trash magic or like trash goodies.
So you're going to
Trash
sniff
man.
around. You're going to take advantage of your advantage to smell things.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and give me perception with advantage.
Well, that's not the best. Oh,
17.
17. Okay.
17. All right. Well, you can smell a lot of basic, like office smells and everything. You can
Do I smell any sandwiches?
You smell donuts. You smell sandwiches. They're coming up the way. Somebody's coming up the stairs with those sandwiches. They're eggplant parmesan.
Oh, fuck.
Shit, dude.
New plan.
Yeah.
Sandwich heist.
So excited. Sandwich time.
Waterdeep sandwich heist.
Still sandwiches from Ollie. before they get there.
I walk over to Hot Pants and I just eggplant parmesan sandwiches, and then I would just walk away.
Okay.
Hot Pants just so excited. He gets a boner. It's great.
He gets an eggplant parm boner. Okay. It's 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Why don't we go ahead and leave it there, and y'all can think about your next I'm going to say that you guys go strolling out the front, chewing on eggplant parmesan subs.
Okay.
And we're just going to skip right past that
Poor Ollie.
encounter. Poor Ollie.
Ollie has no idea why he just had his sandwiches stolen.
Yep. He just got fucking mugged
We're
in the guard's
skipping off
office.
into the sunset with these motherfucking sandwiches.
By the way, when I leave, I cast Shminshmestation.
Shminshmestation.
Bugs everywhere.
I should qualify. Shminshmestation is because I wanted to give Bansh's homebrew subclass infestation, but infestation is not available through the SRD. just to make sure that it didn't get flagged, I changed a couple words in the actual spell and called it Shminshmestation.
This sounded like a new thing. Like it sounded like an Adam, an Adam word.
It's so much better this way.
Shminshmestation.
It is not far outside the realm of possibility.
This makes me sad that you only do audio for your little things because that's amazing.
But yeah, I am having fun characterizing with full-on visual because normally people don't get that. I didn't even realize the faces that I make when I make.
No, like just going in on
voices.
just that part of your face while you do it from that angle, just like literally created so much more of a character with him. Like it's just crazy.
I didn't realize that I was going like this when I was doing Wingod's voice. Like, I am terribly sorry about that. Oh no, my testicles. Yeah. Literal balls of steel. Anyway, I gotta go to bed now, so I'll catch you
Thank
guys
you
next week.
guys for playing.
Good night.
Bye.
See ya.
My God, go away.
Oh my god.
God, wait. That comic book.